welcome you all, and to many of you and to many of the natives who are staying abroad. I would say, on behalf of Rotary Club of Thane Central, welcome to Bharat. And
Yes,
let us
welcome.
celebrate this light of love. Let us celebrate this humanity. But before going forward, it is only appropriate I request our club president, host club president, Neeta Palani ji, who is an astro counselor herself, to call the meeting to order and share her views.
Hello, friends. I call the meeting to order. Good evening from all across the globe who are gathered here for this light of love. All dignitaries of Rotary, Rotarians, and friends. In keeping up to the occasion, I would be lighting the traditional lamp on behalf of all of you. We don't light one lamp at a time, and that's a tradition because that's a tradition. Okay. Also, to be in sync with the theme of peace, of love, I would dedicate a song which actually means life is nothing but a song of love. Mm. Mm. I hope all can hear it.
Yes, absolutely.
एक प्यार का नगमा है, मौजों की रवानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है, मौजों की रवानी है। जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है, मौजों की रवानी है। जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है। ला 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 ला, कुछ पाकर खोना है, कुछ खोकर पाना है। जीवन का मतलब तो आना और जाना है। दो पल के जीवन से एक उम्र चुरानी है। जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है। Thank you, my friends. Thank you so much. This light of love happens to be a song of love. So I would ask the person who has invited all of us, President-elect Saloni Gule, to take the program forward. Thank you, Saloni.
In gratitude, I take over the threads to the program, and such a melodious singing while lighting the traditional diya. You did ignite the light of love in our hearts. And what is the spirit of the song was quite in sync with the moment, which says that life is nothing but a story of love between you and me. So this is the love story that we are here to celebrate, not necessarily a romantic one, but here we are chasing the winds, kissing the sunlight, celebrating humanity, romancing the idea of peace, and we ignite the candle of humanity in all our hearts, and may it be lit in all our hearts until eternity. May we find that light, and may that light guide us to the higher council. And since this is an exchange program, I will just hold you away from Dr. Jain's musical treat yet again by sharing this short insight. And Astro Counselor, my club president Neeta ji, can vouch for this. In Indian culture, there are two ways that you look at light. One is the fire, that is the Agni Tattva, or the fire element out of the 5 elements. And then there is light, which is eternal. Fire kills away the negativity, and the light ignites positivity in your heart. So here with this assembly, I take it that we are here to kill off the negativity of, hatred, and we are here to ignite the light of peace. May that vibration keep growing, and may that glow keep on reflecting on our faces. And speaking about chasing the wind and chasing the life in the spirit of love, we have Dr. Sanjeev Jain having yet another melodious treat, having and singing lyrics and poetry in the same spirit. Can we have Dr. Jain on the spotlight, please? Dr. Jain is going to share a melody.
Music is coming there?
Yes, we can hear you.
चला हूँ मैं गली गली बहार की, बस एक छाँव जुल्फ की, बस एक निगाह प्यार की, उतारता चला हूँ मैं गली गली बहार की, बस एक छाँव जुल्फ की, बस एक निगाह प्यार की, पुकारता चला हूँ मैं। ये दिन लगी ये शौकिया सलामती, ये भी तो बात हो रही है काम की, कोई तो मुड़ के देख लेगा इस तरह, कोई नजर तो होगी मेरे नाम की, पुकारता चला हूँ गली गली बहार की, बस एक छाँव धूप की, बस एक निगाह प्यार की, पुकारता चला हूँ मैं। सुनी मेरी सब बता तू किस यकीन से घटा उतर के आप गई जमीन पे, रही नहीं लगन तो ऐतले ज़बां, असर भी हो रहेगा एक वसीम पे। रुका रुका चला हूँ मैं गली गली बहार की, बस एक छाँव जुल्फ़ की, बस एक निगाह प्यार की। रुका रुका चला हूँ मैं। Thank you so much. Thank you.
क्या बात है संजीव जी. What a performance, I must say. So melodious.
Thank you.
And thank you for agreeing to do this very, very instantaneously.
Thank you so much.
And you really did take us through the lanes of spring.
Thanks.
And yes, the song was all about that we are trading into the world of springs, and we are trading into the, the zone of happiness. And here we are resonating that moment, living that moment. And studio, can you help me put a speaker view on, because here we are awaiting for a moment. Studio, are you there? Okay, so with that, we are here awaiting for the moment for which we have gathered here on two wonderful melodious notes, that we have received a wonderful warm response, and many people have agreed to share their versions and stories of peace with all of us. So we are here to welcome all of you, and in gratitude, we seek all of you to come forward and share one after the other your stories of peace. And I will be requesting studio to play one wonderful film made by one of our committee members, that is Jean. And studio, can we have that film here?
Years have passed along, still singing songs for peace. Don't forget your power, rejoice in melody, create new songs together, rejoice for equality. 50 years have passed along, still singing songs for peace. 50 years have passed along, still singing songs for peace. Lift up each other before it's too late. Together we'll sing songs and abolish hate. 50 years have passed along, still singing songs for peace. 50 years have passed along, still singing songs for peace.
Thank you, Jean, for that song. And I will request Dr. Anne to moderate the session.
Okay.
I will check. Is Asha on?
Can you unmute Al Jubitz, please? He would like to say.
Yes, the
words.
problem is people
Studio,
can't
we
unmute.
need help from your end.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Saloni, we need to unmute people.
They can unmute them.
Okay, I'm unmuted. I would just like to take 60 seconds to acknowledge Dennis Wong, who a decade ago called me and said, let's start a RAG. I said, what's a RAG? He said, it's a Rotary Action Group, and we should start one for peace. That set it all in motion. At the Action Group, we engage, we empower, and we educate Rotarians on peace. We are now having, call ourselves peace builders. We have peace builder clubs and also peace builder chapters of multiple clubs starting around the world. So that's where we gather. Dennis, you want to add anything?
Hi. I was having trouble with my phone, but anyway, thank you, Al. And I just want to say that I think Rotary and Rotarians are really the way to peace. And it's a matter of, I think, all of us being creative and innovative and persistent in moving our organization towards the next level of peace.
Excellent.
And one of the things that I encourage us to do is to define what peace is, so we can have a way to measure our actions. And so thank you for this opportunity of a gathering and of peace builders. And I just wish you, I guess, the best of the coming year, to 2021, as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. And Julia? Unmute yourself.
Good evening, Rotarian friends. Myself, Julia Gandwani from New Delhi Club, Rotary, District 3011. What a wonderful subject and wonderful evening it is. It's a festival of light, festival of unity, harmony. So just I would like to say on the peace, few words. When what we call peace, peace comes from our soul. When there is no peace in our soul, there is no peace in our heart. When there is no peace in our heart, there is no peace in our mind. When there is no peace in our mind, there is no peace in our life. When there is no peace in our life, so how can we expect peace in our world? Then what are we supposed to do to make our soul peaceful? So if everyone decided to forgive at least one person who hurt us by the end of this year, the world will be filled with exchanging hugs, nice words, and kisses instead of words and bullets or nuclear weapons. Thank you very much, and wish you all a great evening and enjoy it. From India.
Thank you, Julia. Gwen, would you like to go for 1 minute?
Hello, everyone. This is a wonderful opportunity, and thank you so much for spreading this message of peace. And I have my husband joining me here, Kiran, and he's going to share with you what we have experienced in our Rotary Club, Kiakak, which is carrying the torch of message and the message of peace. So over to you, Kiran.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kiran.
Welcome.
And thank you. And I wanted to talk to you about the peace initiatives done by the Kiakak Rotary Club. And this is called the Peace Pipe Letters. This was in 1931. And at that time, the Fulton, who was one of the one of the members of our club, traveled to Vienna for the International Rotary Convention. And he saw what was going on in Europe at that time, and he was disturbed and felt that this was going to be a problem in the long run. And when he came back to Kiakak, he wrote a letter to each and every Rotary club that was there at that time around the world. He sent letters out to about 200 Rotary clubs, and there were 2 clubs in India, the Rotary Club of Calcutta and Rotary Club of Madras, that received the letters too. And he received replies back from about 190 clubs, presidents from around the world. And those letters were still preserved to this day by our Rotary Club and have been put in a form of a book. And it gives us the idea of how Rotary has been at the forefront of this peace project for over.
I'm sorry to have held all of you, and I'm sorry if I'm interjecting into something. There is an urgent announcement that I want to make. RIPE Shekhar Mehta says he wants to hear people instead of, waiting along. So that's my announcement. And yes, I'm sorry to interject into whoever was speaking. And even I'm curious to hear out now.
So this project is called Peace Pipe Letter, and it's together as a book by our club, and called the Peace Pipe Letter. So it makes an interesting read about what was going on in the 1930s and how Rotary clubs from around the world came together to promote peace, even at that time. So if you have the opportunity.
Thank you, and we can send out that resource after the meeting, or you can put it in the chat room.
Sure, it will.
Yes, that's a very important initiative.
Yeah, thank you.
And Gwen?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can.
My cat laid on my volume thing. I apologize. I wanted to tell y'all one of the things that we're doing here, and I'm the Peace Committee Chair here in District 5890. We had not had one up until about 4 years ago, and then we began to work on the peace area of focus, and it has blossomed. When we started having all of the racial unrest back in the summer, and people were hurting each other, and everything was so bad, I sent out a note to the Peace Committee, and I said, it seems like we should be doing something, but what? And people came back with ideas, out of which several peace projects started. But one I'm most excited that I wanted to share with y'all is we're doing a series, we're working on a series of what we're calling critical conversations. And as we are working through there, we're actually distinguishing what it is to be a human being. What is it? What are the values, particularly here in America? And right now we're focusing on Rotarians, but and using the 4-way test as a template, but then fleshing it out. What is it to be a human being? What is that? And that's quite an exciting thing. Our hope is that once we all get that who we are as human beings, and the fragmentation and sectarianism that seems to be arising here, not only in our country, but also in the world, we'll be able to look at it in a different way.
Thank you so
thank
much,
you.
Gwen. We appreciate that. You can put something in the chat. We would love to see that. Okay, is there someone else here?
Anne?
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I made the opening film, and I just hope that we in the world will learn to spend our resources and all our money for medicine and the health of the planet, and not for wars. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean.
Thank you so much for joining in. And I had said this over the phone, but now it's come true in more spirits. मैंने कहा था कि आप जब आएंगे हमारे घर पे दिवाली होगी, because so now that you have arrived, our celebrations have taken a new tone in itself. So, and I cannot come to contain the excitement when you said, I want to hear everything, I want to join first. So very much in gratitude back again. So thank you, Shekhar Da, for joining us. And we have Peace Fellow Dr. Francis with us. Dr. Francis, okay. Would you share something?
Greetings, and with deep appreciation from the other Rotary Peace Fellows, and for the support that we have currently and we anticipate going forward. Rotary has taken the responsibility of training peace professionals as part of the support for its worldwide commitment. Thank you again for your being here.
Thank you so much. And did Ruchira share her views about what she had?
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to recite a poem about world peace, which actually reiterates the ancient Indian philosophy of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam.
Please go ahead, Ruchiraji.
Family. So I will recite my poem.
Okay, looks like she's having a little poor network.
Can you hear me?
I think there is some network disturbance. In the meanwhile, I will get Dr. Richard online studio. Can you help me with that happening? And before Dr. Richard joins us, I would want to just pitch to Shekhar Da of what I told him on the phone, that we are a group of Rotarians Action Group for Peace members working as a nuclear weapons education committee. So we have assigned ourselves the job of educating people of the probable world threat. And here we have Dr. Richard Denton chairing the committee. So I present to you Shekhar Da, Dr. Richard Denton, who is District Governor nominee for District 7010.
Thank you very much, and we are very honored to have you, Rotary International President-elect Shekhar Mehta, with us this morning. This is a great honor, and I also want to thank you for attending our previous conference and talking to us. So we want to really warmly welcome you. Thank you very much. We are individual Rotarians from around the world who are concerned with the existential threat of both the climate crisis and nuclear weapons. As we have seen with the pandemic over the past year, the results of a small virus and the results of climate change are going to be much worse, although taking several decades. But the results of a nuclear war would be over the period of a week. And then the consequences would last much longer. So this is a humanitarian threat that we are trying to prevent. Nuclear weapons can happen by an accident or miscalculation or terrorist or even an unstable world leader. So we want to get rid of nuclear weapons and to prevent nuclear war. So this is our aim and what we are trying to work for. Peace is not the absence of war, but the absence of fear, which is the presence of justice. Thank you very much.
Dr. Ann had prepared a PPT. Studio, if you will help me with the PPT, we could have the presentation along. And following the PPT, Shekhar Da, we have your friend joining in, Alok Ji. PDG Alok Bilor would be joining us. Yes, PPT and Dr. Ann on screen, please.
Are we ready?
Absolutely.
Good morning, good evening to you all. It is a thrill to be here and a very warm welcome to our President-elect Shekhar Mehta. So glad you're here. So we've had a century of endless wars, and we keep saying and believing that we're fighting for peace. But if so, why so much poverty, racism, antagonism between nations, civil unrest? Next slide. Next slide. Endless wars are, back up please. There we go. So endless wars for peace, it's not working. Our countries are engaging in war and threat of war. We live under this threat every day. and it is not bringing peace. War is a threat to Rotary, to Rotarians, to all the people on the planet. And nuclear catastrophe is the most present threat of all. Next slide. But Rotarians are finding ways to find peace. And here we have Christine An, the leader of Women's Cross Korea. She is trying to find productive ways to find peace and peace with justice. The Korean Peninsula has been living with a truce, a ceasefire, for 70 years. And her message to us is, we need a peace treaty and we need peace. In 2015, Christine An took 30 international women across the Korean border with 10,000 women on the border. And her message again, we need peace. We need a peace treaty. Next slide, please. But Rotarians are not waiting. When Pakistan opened the Indo-Pak border to Qatar for Sabib, Rotarians brought together Muslims and Sikhs in a place of worship and feasting. This is the real peace, the kind of peace that is contagious and makes us see the best in each other. Sajid Pervez and Upkar Singh Sathi, we thank you. Next slide. Rotarian Sharon Tennyson, Rotary Club of E-Club of World Peace, has been working for 35 years to bring together Rotarians in Russia and the United States, and is credited with helping averting nuclear war in the 1980s and 90s. And she is still working to build these relationships. Next slide. Back up one. The Rotary Action Group for Peace endorsed the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons in 2018. January 22nd of this coming year, 2021, with 50 nations ratifying, it will move into force. Some hope for people in the world. 4 of us in the picture here attended as civil society observers the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and held a side event for Rotarians. The Rotary Action Group for Peace is accredited at the United Nations. So our goal is to educate ourselves and each other about the threat more powerful than COVID-19, one from which we cannot recover. In the last year, we have been doing global meetings to try to understand and stand against this threat of self-destruction. We welcome our President-elect Shekhar Mehta to stand with us in doing so. That would greatly help us navigate to a peaceful tomorrow. Thank you, Shekhar. And last slide. Peace is not the absence of war, but the absence of fear, which is the presence of justice. May it be so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ann. And in the meantime, I was able to contain and compose myself with the excitement of Shekhar Da joining us to hear all our thoughts. In the meanwhile, I will be welcoming PDG Alok Bilor on screen to share about the thoughts he and I have been discussing at length, being a true Hindustani at heart, in action, and trying to be there. Alok ji, welcome. Very nice to see you.
Thank you very much, Saloni, and good evening, everybody, all Rotarians. I'm past District Governor Alok Bilore from 3040. Thank you very much, Saloni. And you'd want me to continue, Saloni, with my thoughts on the issue?
Yes, please.
Okay, now Rotary International, as we all know, is throughout the world. And we basically, Rotarians from this region, when we talk about SAARC countries. So I was talking to Saloni and we thought of, coining a new term, RSAARC, wherein we thought of forming an association of Rotarians from all these SAARC countries, and regional issues concerning peace, understanding, conflict resolution were the theme areas, were the cause of concern for all of us. And Shekhar is there with us, and I'd like to take this opportunity, bringing to his knowledge that Shekhar, if you could consider this, the very concept what Saloni and I was discussing, and I was trying to contact you time and again, that let us have a regional association of Rotarians from SAARC countries, wherein we can have lot many trade activities, lot many business activities, lot many programs and concerns. We can share. We can have team of people traveling, family exchange programs between our countries, so that like we go from India to Pakistan, talk to them. Teams visit from Pakistan to India. We go to Bangladesh. We go to Sri Lanka. We go to Nepal, and so that our focus area becomes the SAARC countries. So our SAARC, Rotarians, South Asian Regional Cooperation between the Rotarians. I think let us have this new concept and let it reach throughout the world, so that Saloni and we are working on it day and night. We had a lot of discussions, and so I'd request Shekhar to kindly pay desired attention on this issue, and so that we can send across the message throughout the world that our SAARC, a new concept, Rotarians can take a big lead, in the effort to have better coordination amongst the SAARC countries. Saloni?
Thank you, Alok ji, in much gratitude. And now I see District Governor-elect Mayuresh ji, Mayuresh Warke here joining us, and he is here to share his views. Studio, can we have in the spotlight? He is here to share our views, to support us in the process, and mainly to exchange his greetings and warm welcome to Shekhar da. Dr. Mayuresh Warke, please.
Thank you, Saloni, and it's a great pleasure to be here. And congratulations on arranging this forum. And obviously a great pleasure to have our President-elect Shekhar with us here. And welcome to Shekhar da. And I'm sure all of us are eager to listen to him more. So thank you so much, Saloni, for getting this program together and Shekhar da amongst us. So I think I am also keen to listen to Shekhar da on this seminar. Thank you.
Program is in fact dedicated to you, Shekhar da. So we are really eager to hear from you. Please.
Hello, everyone, and a good day to everyone. It's absolutely a pleasure coming and being with all of you. I find people from across the world, which is really great. Because peace, of course, is a matter of the entire world, not just one area in the world. Everywhere there is need for peace, and I'm so happy, Saloni, that you have got people here who are genuinely interested and want peace in this world. They've all come together. Whoever is the moderator, can you please see that everyone's on mute? That will help us. Thanks. It was good listening to some of you. Richard, I've heard you earlier also, and I see how passionate you are about the entire matter. And I think we have also, you were present at that last meeting that I came to and spoke probably. It's good to listen to the various views of people. And I absolutely and fully support this thought process. I'm a great believer in the fact that mere absence of war is not peace. But I also feel if there is peace in this world brought about by people, it is people like Rotarians who bring peace in this world. To me, you and I are not politicians who may be in positions to take decisions whether the countries will go to war or not. But just as was mentioned by everybody, and I believe so, mere absence of war is not peace. to the people in a parched village, let's say in Africa, you go and ask them what peace is. The borewell that has been sunk by the Rotarians there from America is peace for them, because it brings peace in their lives. Just 2 days back, my own Rotary Club got heart surgeries done for 3 little children who came from Afghanistan. These children were 8 months old, 10 months old, and 3-year-old. 2 girls and a boy. You go and ask the parents of these children what peace to them is. They are not interested what Taliban is doing there. They are not interested who's at war with whom in the world. To them, peace is in the lives of their children being saved by Rotarians. And I think Rotary does an amazing, amazing work bringing peace to individual people around the world. To me, that's one of the greatest things that Rotary has done. Every act of Rotarians goes towards positive peace. And the best example, of course, is the polio eradication program. 350,000 children getting afflicted or dying because of a disease in that year 1985, 35 years from now, and this year less than 150. You put a little math to it and you will realize more than 6 million lives have been changed, have been saved, either from getting crippled or from dying. This is as good as the number of lives that were lost in the World War I. We have, by just eradicating one disease, we have nearly stopped as good as a third world. What greater example of peace can there be than this? Add to that the work that we do as far as our peace centers is concerned. Now, peace warriors, yes, we have nearly 1,400 of them. But I only wished that they were in positions where they could have taken a stand on whether to go to war or not. Most of them are working for positive peace. Many of them have started their own foundations. Many of them are working from world foundations. And they are in the same cause as you and I are doing. I hope someday one of them on their desk will get a file which says whether to go to a war with the neighboring country or another country, and they will say no because of the lessons they have learned by the Peace Centers program that we have started. I'm sure even that one no by one person in the history will be worth the entire program over so many years. One war saved because of Rotary is a big deal in the history of mankind, I think. I agree with you what you say, Richard. Climate change, of course, if today we do not learn a lesson about climate change, I don't know when we will. This is the biggest catastrophe I have seen in my lifetime, and I believe everyone's lifetime who hasn't seen the Spanish flu. This is the biggest thing they've ever seen. The world has been brought to its knees by nature. And if we do not respect nature, if we do not respect climate, this may just be a trailer of what nature may have for us in store. So it's important that we learn to live with the nature, we learn to live with other creatures. Just today I was reading that over the last so many years, the last 50 years, we have lost 50% of our ocean diversity. Now, nobody ever sees that. Nobody ever understands what goes below that water, below the oceans. But the fact remains that it is one of the biggest providers for us. 2/3 of this world is covered with the oceans, only 1/3 is land. If we do not protect that, if we do not protect the species, we are in for some troubled times. And the emissions that we do, the gas emissions we do, I'm all for industrialization, I'm all for progress and growth, but we will have to have a proper balance in life to ensure that we live. We may live, but we have to ensure that the next generation also lives. Nuclear weapons, well, one has to go to Hiroshima to understand what havoc it can create. I've been to Hiroshima. I've been to the museum where I could see what havoc it has created. I went to that that very place where the bomb was put, and it is. I mean, you will have hair-raising tales there when you see people melting like candles. I mean, live people melting like candles. Their bodies are melting as if they were candles. Such horror. And we live in the most advanced times of mankind when people are so sensible, they are so smart, so intelligent, and yet we are so foolish and so stupid. I don't know how it can get started, but somebody has to make a start. Probably somebody will have to have the courage to make that start, but I can even understand. I'll just give an example of my own country. My own country, I know its history for years. For if you look at the 1,000-year history of India, you will find India has never ever conquered a neighboring state, country, anywhere, anybody, which shows that we are basically peace-loving people. Yet we have nuclear arms. We had nuclear arms even before Pakistan had. So now Pakistan has nuclear arms because India has. Now who makes the first start of disarmament? I mean, I can't believe why cannot neighbors live in peace. It's important. And I agree, Alok, with you. It is people-to-people relationship that is most effective. Right now, the relationship between the two neighboring countries is not good. But you know, see, Aziz Memon in a day calls me up 3 times at least. I remember when I was the district governor, India and Pakistan had gone for a war. The Kargil war was fought just at that time when I took over as governor. Sorry. But even as our countries were at war, the Pakistan district governor and I in Calcutta, we were talking about how to do a peace program amongst ourselves, how to work together. Now, it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. Secondly, it is people-to-people relations which ultimately will bring peace. When I went to Pakistan, I was accorded a welcome very few countries would ever give me. Very few countries would ever give me the reception, the honor. And this was not when I became the president. This was 10 years back. I don't know whether even I don't think I was even I was the director of Rotary International at that time. But the honor they gave, the love they showed. And why not? After all, we are the same people. About 73 years back, some people drew a line on the map and we became 2 different countries. Otherwise, our history is same, the culture is same, the people are same, the language is same. So when I was giving speeches there, people came and told me, "Oh, Mr. Mehta, you speak great Urdu." I was wondering. I had probably recited in my 5-6 speeches maybe 2 or 3 Urdu couplets. The rest was all Hindi. And it suddenly struck me, oh, this side of the border, what is Hindi, is actually Urdu on the other side. It's the same language. 2 different names given to the same language. I was speaking in my mother tongue, and to them it was their mother tongue. I still have hope. If the 2 Germanys can come together, why cannot people live in peace with each other? So Richard, Frances, and Saloni, Alok, and all the other people who are here, I fully appreciate and I really admire your effort that you are ready to take on a challenge which is one of the biggest issues in the world actually. What greater issue can there be than peace in this world? We all love peace. We want to live for peace. Our existence itself depends on peace. And who are the people? There is this weapons industry lobby. There is so much economy involved in this entire trade. That is a huge lobby. There are countries who thrive on this, survive on this. There are external agencies who are interested in power. And yet these 57 people here together are trying to find a breakthrough. You know, I strongly believe every revolution starts with just one thought, one institution, one person, and a single step. So I admire the effort that each and every one of you is taking. Anything that I can do on behalf of an organization which strongly believes in peace. One of our core values, it may not be defined as one, but core values is definitely peace. If you read the object, it straight says that we are working for world peace and understanding. That's what we are, that's what we do, that's who we are and what we do. So for an organization which strongly believes so, I will always stand by any efforts that you have which go towards peace. One suggestion I had, nowadays there is, I just saw a name of a Rotary Club, Rotary E-Club of Peace or something I just read. I think that's a great initiative. I've been promoting cause-based clubs everywhere. So if you find other people who are interested in peace as a cause, why not start forming more E-clubs? What is 557 people right now on this call needs to become 5,800 people for this one cause of peace. Your voice will become 100 times more stronger, more powerful, more audible if so many people who are people of influence in their different countries start talking about peace. And friends, Saloni had told me today is a matter, today is a day when you are in celebratory mood. People have recited poems or people have recited things. So let me aptly end with this one thought that I always have. And there is nothing written better on peace probably than what John Lennon wrote. I won't sing it, but I'll just speak to you. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. And you know, Gandhi had said, there is enough for every man's need in this world, but not enough for even one man's greed in this world. So imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you too will join us and the world will live as one. Imagine there are no countries. Imagine there are no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Richard Denton, Francis, Stanley, Jean, everyone joins, and I hope someday others too will join us and the world will live as one. All the very best to you. What you are doing as a RAG is amazing. I wish you so much wind under your wings. All the very best to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shekhar Da. And Jimi Hendrix said in his poetry that the moment people start believing in the power of love over the love for their power, the world would be more peaceful. And on that note, Shekhar Da, so much of gratitude for resonating all of our thoughts. Can we have everybody on unmute just for a moment so that we can hear a round of applause?
Yes, please.
Yay!
So well spoken, so well spoken.
Thank you so much, Shekhar Da, for resonating our thoughts. And studio, back to the muting mode again so that. Okay, so thank you so much, in so much of gratitude for offering to be there by our side, being there in our. Ideally, it's so ironic to call it fight for peace, and it is a pun in itself. So, but our RAC for Peace also calls it We Wage Peace. So here we all are waging peace for a better tomorrow, for a better future, so that the Greens remain as Greens in future, and there are no lack or scarcity of resources. We had one short presentation after Dr. Francis gives her remarks. May I request Dr. Francis to come forward?
Saloni, even before Francis starts, I'll just request you, I have another meeting coming in a few minutes' time. I'll listen to Francis and slowly ease out whenever my time for the next meeting comes. Okay? I
Shekhar,
would love to
after
listen to as
Francis
many
is
people
done,
as
we
I
are
can.
also done.
Thank you for
Shekhar,
being there, Shekhar. Thank you.
Thank you.
आपके बाद कोई बोलने की हिम्मत नहीं करेगा.
No, please, please. I would love to listen to Francis. Yeah, please carry on,
Thank
Francis.
So there are no words that can follow that powerful message, but we'll do our best with the formality, and please understand that every person heard exactly what you said. On behalf of the organizing team, I extend our deepest appreciation to you, Shekhar Mehta, for your attention to these serious concerns and the voices of Rotarians. We also recognize the Rotary Club of Thane Central and Club President Nita Palani, Club Secretary Dr. Madhavi Dole, and District Governor-elect Mahesh Warki for their generous support. We honor further each individual participant for contributing to this celebration of Diwali and for praising the inner light that protects from spiritual darkness, that frees us from limiting and imprisoning thoughts, and that awakens us to new ways of serving our human family. As Rotarians, we share our unique and common purposes as we move through our life experiences. The members of Rotary live in every country of the world and yet are bound together by a common mission, by the object of Rotary, and by the four-way test. These tools guide the work that we already do and shape the ways that we address new issues. Today, as you've already heard, we face two extraordinarily challenging public health situations. One is the COVID pandemic, which has touched every corner of the world and which can only be solved by working together across borders and seas. The second is the possession and use of nuclear weapons, the most dangerous and least understood threat to the health and well-being, not only of humans, but indeed the entire planet. Rotarians are qualified individually and collectively to address these public health crises. Both require our immediate and collaborative focus and force for good. Today, let us, yes, each one of us, accept these challenges and take the important steps which RIPE President-elect Shekhar Mehta and all Rotarians toward ensuring world peace. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Visible but not audible.
Now audible.
We start to see it. The earth is our only home. Rotary Peace Platform offers us something rare and valuable: the capacity to celebrate difference, to value compromise over conflict, to value human beings, and to find a way to heal divisions in the interests of peace and goodwill.
Let the spiritual light dominate darkness. Let knowledge and science dominate ignorance. Let the treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons erase nuclear bombs. Happy Diwali.
There's an ocean of darkness, and I drowned in the night, till I came through the darkness to the ocean of light. And the light is forever, and the light makes us free. I will dwell in the glory of the light, said he.
No word means more to a Pashtun than honor. So I will harness that honor, and I will show my people that real honor and freedom lie in the power of nonviolence.
foreign countries में
Diwali 2020. Be light, not darkness. Be the way and path to peace. Be love and not hate.
A symbol for good winning over evil, also removing darkness from our lives.
Similarly, let's march towards creating a world free of nuclear weapons by withdrawal of all nuclear weapons from this beautiful planet. I said, Oma, Sadgamaya, Nama Soma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Sarvesham Swastirvavatu, Sarvesham Shantirvavatu, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you so much once again for patiently viewing it. And yes, Shekhar da, any remarks, any guidance from your end? And I see he has a very tight schedule. So thank you once again. And thank you to all the participants.
Yeah, my meeting got a little delayed, so I'm here for a little more. But now it's time to leave. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Great job you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. May I request President Neeta Palani ji to call the meeting adjourned, and before that we have Dr. Nilesh Jayant, who would be sharing his poetry as a tribute just after the meeting is adjourned.
So before the meeting is adjourned,
As you direct.
Yeah, but I would really want for this piece a dedication in resonation with the Rotary Action Group of Peace. You know, when there is peace. So I would just put it for all the friends across the globe. When the sun shines on the mountain and the night is on the run, it's a new day, it's a new way, and I fly up to the sky. I can feel the morning sunlight. I can smell the newborn hay. I can hear God's voices calling from my golden skylight way. Una paloma blanca. I'm just a bird in the sky. Una paloma blanca. Over the mountains I fly. No one can take my freedom away. No one can take my freedom away. Thank you for a patient hearing, and I adjourn the meeting. Thank you, Saloni. Thank you all. Yes, Dr. Nilesh can go on with his poetry.
Thank you so much, Saloni and President, for this opportunity. Though after the adjourning, I really enjoyed being a part of this, and witnessing Shekhar da, of course, was a great, privilege. Rotary has the motto as service above self, and each step in service walks towards peace. We all will agree to it as Rotarians. Friends, however, today it really reaches, my heart reaches down to some of my friends in Rotary in District 3142 and otherwise, who must have done a lot of service in peace, in love, and spreading joy, and have succumbed to this COVID-19 pandemic. So, in memory of all these friends, Rotarians worldwide, I would just offer this tribute, which goes with the title Service Above Self. Your lives were the ones well lived, maybe in packets, big or small, delivering that you believed in, and thus standing so tall. Galore may not be heard, glories may just go passing by, for the path that you walked on, for whatever you did try. Your faith set up the pace, and love your ways. The smile you put on every troubled face shall speak about your ways. Records may not be written. As your time comes to depart, a place forever shall stay litten in each and every smiling heart. Our hearts in turn shall keep you alive. Our hearts in turn shall keep you alive on the earth as much in the sky, And so we humbly bow in tribute and shall never to you say goodbye. And shall never to you say goodbye. Thank you so much. That is what I would offer as peace. This is noble souls who have been working in